Hello students, in this class we'll see more about these operators. So in order to understand the use of these short circuit logical operators, let us means, assume an example which may help you. Suppose we have to make a program, suppose that we have to make a program to find the largest number among three numbers. So let us look into this program in this way. Suppose the first number is A, second number is B, third number is C. Let's erase the fourth one. And now we have to find the largest one. Most of you may say, sir, C is the largest, C is the value 7. So this is what you are doing. No? But how computer will decide how to write a code that which number is, which variables value is larger? Means the program, we have to make a program in such a way that even if the values are changed, if the values varies, right now this is 5, 6 and 7. If sometime it is 900, if sometime it is only 6, if sometime it is 29, then what? So in that case also the program should be able to output which one is the largest one. So of course we'll have to use the if condition, but here I'll show you that how we could use the short circuit operators to find that. So first condition can be if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then what? Then in this case, if this is the case, if both conditions false true, then what will? A is greater number. Fine. For other situation, if B is greater than A and B is greater than C, then if B is greater than both the numbers, then B is greater. Look, students, here while we were discussing a if condition, I had told you that curly brace is important. Yes, that's important, but if you have to execute only one line, if the condition is true and you have to execute only one line, if only one line has to be executed, which is this line in this case, means if this case, this condition is true, then I have to execute only this line, not more than one line. In these cases, we can skip curly braces. We can skip this. And that's what we are doing here. Although we can put it, I'll show you that also. But we can skip also if we have to execute only one uh, statement. So this is the case when where we could find the largest of three numbers. You can make program for finding the largest out among four numbers, five numbers, six numbers, seven numbers, 10 numbers, 20 numbers. For that you will have to think, but I'll tell you those things also. But being a programmer, you'll have to first learn these skills. These skills will help you to decide. So now the third, if C is greater than A and C is greater than B, then what? And this is the case, C is greater. Now let us do what? Let us compile this program and see the result. Let us go to the right folder. .java is the file name. No problem. Now run this. C is greater. Why C is greater? Because in this situation, C is greater. Now let us change the situation. Can we change the situation? Of course, everything is in our hand. We can change the situation. For doing this, let us do this. Make this number this, make this number this, make this number this. Save it, compile it, run it. The system will tell you which number is greater. In this case, A is greater. Now change the situation again. Now in this case, B is greater. So now this program is okay. It's working nicely. Why it's working nicely? Because the conditions are provided properly. That's why it's working that way. Now there's no chance of error. Now let us see how it is working. Of course, this is the logical AND operator. The same way we can use the OR operator also. But in this situation, AND operator is needed. So first condition I'm giving, if A is greater than B and A is also greater than C. If both the cases are true, then it has to tell A is greater. In this case, I'm comparing B with A and B with C. If B is greater than both the numbers, then it has to say this. And the same case, the same way the C is. So let us see the current situation where A is 785, B is 4516, and C is 217. Now first compare this. Is A greater than B? No. Is A greater than C? Yes. This is false. This is true. In case of AND, what is the terms and conditions? Both the input or all the inputs must be true. But in this case, only this. This is false. This is true. Only one is true. One is false. So overall, it became false. And once the condition becomes false, this line will not be executed. Come to the next point. Is B greater than A? Of course, B is greater than A because it is 4500 and A is 785 only. Is B greater than C? Yes, B is greater than C as well. So in this case, what happened? The first input also became true. The second also became true. So this overall became true. And therefore, this is the output. Look, B is greater. And the third case says, if C is greater than A. Is C greater than A? No. Is C is greater than B? No. Both the conditions became false. So this is not executed. So this is how it is working. Now, if you want to compare 50 numbers, then you will have to think about it. Okay. Let me help you. If you really want to compare 50 numbers, then first of all, you need to have 50 numbers. And then you need to compare all the numbers with each other. And this can be done with the help of two things. First, you need to have the idea of array so that you could input 50 different numbers in array. Then you should have an idea of looping. With looping, we'll compare each number with each other and we'll find the greatest one. And this is how we can achieve that. So in this class, we just saw that how we can use these operators. And in our previous example, we saw that more than two conditions can be also given. 2, 3, 4, 5, any number of conditions you can give. So it's again up to you now to just practice it. So let us now see some more things. So this is how we came to know how we can use the AND operator and OR operator. Now we have assignment operator. This is quite easy, or you may say the easiest expression operator to use. This single equal to is known as assignment operator, whose task is to assign the content of right hand side to the variable in the left hand side. In the left hand side, normally a variable is there, and in the right hand side, there may be a constant, there may be an expression, there may be a variable again. So the value at the right hand side will get assigned to value in the variable in the left hand side. Very easy. Examples you may see: x is equal to y, y is equal to z, and z is equal to 100. It means what? 100 will be assigned to z, then the z value will be assigned to y, and the y's value will be assigned to x. So all these variables will have one value, that is common value, that is 100. So this is one way of assigning. Another simple way of assigning, you have already seen number of times in our programs, like int a is equal to 5. So this is the simplest way of assigning. So let us not give much time. Look, this is how we can assign. Now here comes one of the nice, or one of the good, or one of the most asked operator. Java includes a special ternary or three-way operator. This question mark with colon, this colon. is known as ternary operator. Why it is known as ternary? Because it has three way. It needs three operands. How and why it is need three operand? And as I said, it is the most asked operators, and it is one of the replacement to the if condition also, if else condition. So it needs really good concentration to understand. Although it is easy. Look, the general form of this. First, we write an expression, a logical expression. The value of logical expression must be in true and false. And if the value of expression 1 is true, then this expression will be executed. And if the value of expression 1 will be false, then expression 3 will be executed. Where expression 1 need to be a logical expression whose output should be in form of true or false, whereas expression 2 or expression 3 may be any form of expression. I mean, arithmetic expression may be, or any other expression. Here expression 1 can be any expression that will have Boolean value. That's what I was telling you. The expression 1 must be a Boolean expression. I mean, whose ultimate result should be in form of true and false. If expression 1 is true, then expression 2 is, if expression 1 is true, if this is true, then expression 2 is evaluated. Otherwise, expression, in case of false, expression 3 is evaluated. That's it. And expression 2 and 3 maybe any kind of expression. So let us see example. Ratio equals denom. These are the variables name. Then it is equal to, it is testing. It's testing. And then 0, then this and this. Look, it might seem a little confusing, but don't get confused. Okay. Is there any explanation about the type of variable ratio and denom? No. So let us assume that denom is integer. A ratio is also integer. Okay. Or you may take it in float form or a numeric type data. Take it as, assume this. Now, this is the expression. Now we have to understand this properly in context of this. So expression 1, which is expression 1 in this? So dear student, this is expression 1. This is a logical expression or a relational expression whose result should be in form of true or false. So you have to read in this way. Is denom equals 0? Is this denom, the value of this denom variable is equal to 0? Is it like that? If yes, if this condition is true, then 0 will be returned. Returned to what? This 0 will be assigned to ratio. Ratio is a normal variable. In case this is going to be true, then expression, this is expression 2 and this is expression 3. Mind it. This expression 2 is there, no? And expression 3. So here only 0. Look, colon. Look, colon. Look, this question mark. Look, this question mark. So before question mark, this is expression 1. After question mark and before the colon is expression 1. And after colon is expression 3. So expression 2, when it is executed, when this will be true. Expression, if expression 1 will be true, then expression 2 will be executed. If expression 1 will be false, then expression 3 will be executed. So I can understand it is a little complicated. Also, I'll make this point clear with example as well. So what will happen when Java evaluate this assignment expression? It first look at the expression to the left of the question mark. This. if denum, that is a variable, is equal to 0, then expression between the question mark and the colon is evaluated and used as the value of the entire expression. And if denum does not equal to 0, then expression after the colon is evaluated. So that's what I'm telling you. So let us have a look over one of the example. One more example is given. So I think it may make you understand it more better. So we have two variables, I and k, integer variables, where I is assigned to 10. Mind it, the value of I is 10. Now k also is integer variable, but here see, we are using the ternary operator. So before question mark, this is an expression which will generate output or return in form of boolean, true or false. So read it now. You know the value of the variable I is less than 0. Is I less than 0? The value of I is 10. So I is not less than 0. So this expression became what? False. And if it became false, then what? The expression after the colon, this will be evaluated or executed or will be assigned. So I, what is the value of I? 10. So this 10, the value of I will get assigned to k. The value of k will become 10. Okay. Now output is there. Now in this case, the value of I is minus 10. Now we have changed it. Okay. Variable can change. So changed it. Now there is the same expression, but in this case, now I is less than 0 because it is minus 10 and minus 10 is less than 0. So this condition is becoming true in this case. So this time, this will be the return minus I. So what is the value of I? I is itself minus 10. So minus minus plus. So positive 10. So this time also the k's value will be 10. Look the output. In this case also k value 10. In this case also k value 10. Again, I can see that this may be confusing to few of you. So let me make this point very clear with the help of one example. Ternary operator is very nice to understand. So let us make a new program. Class name ternary. Is it any keyword? So far it is not a keyword. So we can use this name. Public static void main. Int a is equal to 5. B is equal to 6. A very simple example. This time, let us use a variable, a string type variable. Why? Let me show you why. String result or R is enough. I'm using a ternary operator here. How? See. First, I'll write a condition. If A is greater than B, then say A is greater. This is a string expression. Otherwise, say B is greater. So look at this. You might think that it is more complicated, but no, student, this is not at all complicated. Look at this. This is the expression 1. And if this expression 1 will be true, then this is expression 2 and this is expression 3. So let us predict what is the value of A, that is 5, B is 6. What about the condition? Is A greater than B? No, A is not greater than B because A is 5 and B is 6. So A is smaller than B. So this became false. And in case this is becoming false, then which expression has to be evaluated? This. So this is a string. So this string will be assigned to R, string R. And let us output it. Let us save it. Name is ternary.java. Okay, let us execute it. Java C ternary.java. Is there any error? No error. Now run it. B is greater. Look, this value is given to it. Why? Because this is the case. Can we handle it in a different way? Of course. Now suppose another scenario with the same set of data. What we have to do, if A is greater, then we have to subtract B from it. And if A is smaller, then we have to add A and B. Listen carefully once again. What is the scenario I'm giving you? Two variables are there, A and B. If A is smaller, then we will subtract A from the larger number, from B. And if A is greater, then we'll add both variables. How can we do that? Let us see how can we do that. So what result it's ultimately going to generate? A result is going to be generated in form of integers. Either the sum or the difference of two numbers will be integer. So in this case now, as in this case, we had to print a message. So we took string data. In this case, we know that we have to get a return in form of sum or difference of a number. So that's going to be an integer. So in this case, R1. Now, if A is greater than B, then what? Then we have to generate A plus B. Otherwise what? Otherwise B minus A. Oh, can this be written like this? Of course. You can remove the parentheses also. Look, then also it is same. But it looks little, it look quite okay. It is okay. But once you put parentheses, it looks little easier and better for me. It's my personal thought. For you, there may be a difference. Now what? Let us R1. How many of you can predict? Most of you can predict, but let us see this. R1 1. Why so? Let us now come to. A is greater than B. A's value is 5, B's value is 6. So is A greater than B? No, A is not greater than B. In that case, what do we have to do? We had to subtract the A with the larger number. So B, the larger number, minus A. So B's value is 6 and A's value is 5. 6 minus 5, 1. And this is why 1 is coming here. Now let us change the value. And now let us see once again. Whole thing has changed now. This case, A is greater because yes, of course, now A is greater. This is how the program is designed. A is greater. R's value is A is greater. Come here. A is greater. Is A greater than B? Is A greater than B? Yes. So this operation will be performed. Expression 2 will be executed. So A plus B, this plus this, which generates this 581. So this is how the ternary operator is working. So dear students, I think now it is getting a little clear. Now let me make if condition of this program. The same thing. How we can do this in a if condition? Look, the same thing. If A is greater than B, then what? Then R1 equals A plus, if A is greater than B, no? If A is greater than B, then A plus B we have to do. Otherwise, what we have to do? R1 equals B minus A we have to do. Okay. Now you might be thinking, sir, we are already using R here. Can we use here and here? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. No issue. You can use it. And the same statement. It has to do what? It has to simply print the value of R1, whatever the value of R1 is going to be. But I just want to show you that this as well as this, both are same things. Means ternary operator are normally used to replace if-else condition in this way. This comes in your exam. Look, A is greater, value of R1 581, 581. Because of this, the first 581, and because of all these 581. So this is how the things are working. So ternary operators have multi-level also. So multi-level you have to understand in your own, or if I'll upload another video, or we'll discuss this with multi-level also. But once you first understand the simple format. So this is how we just completed what? The ternary operator. Now one more important topic is operator precedence. This is the priority. This shows the order of precedence of Java operator from highest to lowest. Means if in a BODMAS rule you have heard, in mathematics, same thing is there. But here, the priority is a little different. So this table shows you the priority. So this plus plus or minus minus postfix or prefix increment or decrement operator has the highest priority. If in any expression these things are there, then first these will be executed, and then these operations, not, yeah, positive, minus, typecasting is done. This has the same as these, all have the same priority. Then comes multiplication, division, and mod operation. If in an expression, BODMAS, bracket, of, division, those is the same way. First priority goes to this, then this. Actually, this is not the first priority. These all have got the same priority. The order in which they are appearing, they will be executed. These have the same priority. Plus and minus has